In prosperous Banqiao, new buildings are being continuously built. In recent years, tall buildings have sprung up everywhere. People seem to have gotten used to this urban landscape. However, a tranquil and beautiful centennial mansion exists, a welcome retreat in northwest Banqiao City. The Ling family mansion and garden was originally called the Banqiao Villa. It has two sections, the garden and mansion. The garden refers to the Ling family garden. The mansion refers to the Ling family's mansion, the three-block grand house. It's the best preserved example of gardening architecture in Taiwan now. The three-block grand house has a well-defined layout. It was the Ling family's mansion, but now belongs to the Ling Binyuan Worship Guild. The garden is divided into 4 parts. The first part, the study area, is comprised of the Jigu Library and Fangjian Study. The second part, Dingjing Hall. Distinguished guests were received and accommodated here. The Kaixunyi Xiao Pavilion and Shuangyuyi Garden extend out from the hall. The third part, Dingjing Hall, from which the Yuepo Xuexie extends, is where banquets were held. And the fourth part, Guanjia Hall and Banyan Shade Pond. The garden's centennial splendor deserves careful appreciation. By trading rice and salt, Ling Hall amassed a large fortune. After resigning from his government position in Guangxi, he returned to Taiwan and lived in Dakakan, now Daxi and Taoyuan. Then he had the BE Hall built in northwest Banqiao to make it convenient to collect rent from his tenants. Ling Hall had 5 sons. They managed the 5 family titles of Yin, Shui, Bin, Xi, Yuan, respectively. Guoha and Guofang were the most capable. So, Bin Yuan became the overall family title. The name of Lin Biyuan was used by later generations to represent the Lin family. Guoha and Guofang had the 3-block grand house built on the right side of BE Hall. When it was completed, the entire family moved in. The Lin family began to settle down in Banqiao. Jigu Library holds a large book collection. Its window lattices are all tastefully designed with precision. The pavilion has curl leaves adorned with unique features on its front. The Lin family stressed their children's education, thus Xue Guanqiao and Lu Xiquan were hired from Fujian to tutor their children, receiving great rewards for their service. Lin Jia is a descendant of Lin Weiyuan. He once took his family to visit Jigu Library, where he studied in his youth. That day was the Double Ninth Festival. Chrysanthemum flowers were blooming. Lin John thought the times were so chaotic and volatile that he wrote this couplet to express his thoughts about retirement and retreat. A narrow and gloomy corridor inside the Jigu Library leads to the Fangjian Study, inspiring Lin Jia to write this couplet describing the quaintness of the study, seeing light after experiencing darkness. Let's visit the Fangjian Study, a place where the Lin family brothers studied in those days. It recalls the scene of people singing and chanting here. Such a poetic scene is certainly imaginable. The name of Fangjian Study was taken from the poem Thoughts After Reading. Written by Jushi, it was a metaphor expressing the importance of one continuously seeking wisdom so that everything can be understood. The name encouraged the Ling family to have the same learning spirit. The Ling family endeavored in cultural and educational activities. Becoming more cultured was consequently popularized in Banqiao. During the Dongzhi years, Daguan Home School and Yixue School were established. The level of education grew, and Banqiao became an important cultural center in northern Taiwan at that time. Dingjing Hall is embellished with exquisite carving. It's the most beautiful building in the garden. Distinguished guests were received and accommodated here. It is said that Li Hongjiang and Liu Mingchuan once stayed here. The inscription on the board above the door honors flowers. Lotuses were planted in the garden then, so beautiful and graceful that people were always inspired to write by the beauty of the garden. Ascending Dingjing Hall, Rainbow Moon and the Shuangyue Garden can be seen nearby, whereas Datun Mountain and Guanjia Mountain can be viewed in the distance. Distinguished guests sat in the first-floor reception room. When the lattice door was open, the performances playing on the opposite stage could be seen. "One smiles as the curtain goes up" was inscribed on the board traversing the top of the stage, as distinguished guests smiled in those joyful, happy times. The land bridge besides Dingjing Hall has a moonlight vaulted gate with a rainbow-like bridge, so it is called Rainbow Moon. It separates the entire garden into two parts, front and back. The garden's back half cannot be seen entirely at first glance. The garden is designed with visual gradation, where part of the view is intentionally blocked. This technique is called obstructive scenery in Chinese gardening. The cave beneath the land bridge leads to Guanjia Hall. When walking within the cave, you will feel like you're in a mountain cave. Shuangyue Garden extends out from the cloister. The word yi means the cabin beside the garret. In the flower season, the Ling family's host invited guests to appreciate the flowers. The name of Dingjing Hall was taken from the phrase, "From calmness there will succeed a tranquil repose," from the Great Learning. The sign traversing above the hall was inscribed by Lin Weiyuan personally. He was the garden host of the Lin family's third generation. It's the largest building in the garden, a place where the Lin family entertained their guests and held banquets. Antiques and ancient paintings were displayed in this gorgeous hall. This spacious veranda within this hall was used for holding formal banquets. Over 100 people could dine simultaneously. What a grand sight it must have been. The moon viewing terrace has a double-joined diamond shape with varied crystal styles. On the right side is a winding stone staircase implying stairs ascending. The Lin family girls would angle for fish from the terrace. This exquisite above-water structure is famous for its reflection of the moon on the water, so it is called 月婆雪蟹. A balcony exists on the second floor of the beautiful Guanjia Hall. The Ling family was a great landowner. They ascended to this hall to watch farmers working beneath on Guanyi Mountain. Scroll wall in front of the hall, conveying reading is useful, is complemented by the 8 trigram door on the 2 sides. The cloud wall is penetrated by 4 windows in the shape of a bottle gourd, pumpkin, peach, and pomegranate, symbolizing happiness, prosperity, longevity, and delight, respectively. The uniquely shaped doors surrounding Guanjia Hall also have special meanings. On the first floor of Guanjia Hall, a model of the Ling family garden is displayed now, so visitors can get an overview of the entire garden. From the moon door on the left side of Dingjing Hall, the banyan shade pond can be seen. The banyan tree's branches flourish such that their shade covers the pond's surface, creating yet another wonderland-like place. A boat dock existed on the bank near Guanjia Hall. On the northern side of the pond, an artificial mountain was created, similar to those in the Ling family's homeland of Zhangzhou. The fun scene, like a mountain range when viewed from the front, like mountain peaks when seen from the side, is the artful application of seeing greatness from triviality in the architectural gardening technique. Around the bank of Banyan Shade Pond are several different pavilions. These buildings blend beautifully into the environment. These not only show the host's creativity and ingenuity, but also enhance the garden's atmosphere. In addition to enjoying the existing beautiful scenes and wonderful structures, people can also gain a better understanding of the Centennial Garden's new style and features through a variety of activities held in the garden. The Ling family mansion and garden has witnessed over 100 years of history. Once dilapidated, through numerous renovations and consolidation made possible by generous donations from the Ling family descendants and the efforts of the government in all parts of society, it has finally regained its original grandeur. It was thus reopened to the public, so we are lucky to be able to visit it today. Let's enjoy the Centennial Garden's highly cultured atmosphere, as well as its grand architecture once more.